Hi, Abby here from Ballerinas by Night, and today I am sharing with you my book list. This is my ballet dance book list. So I thought we'd do this as part of our Vlogmas so that if you wanted to put any of these on your Christmas list, you could. I've been wanting to share kind of my library of books for a while. This is not everything, but it's a lot of them. Some of them are more informational, some of them are more fun. So the first one is the Ballet Companion. I really love this book because it has beautiful pictures. It's really just a beautiful book. It covers a lot of different topics. So it starts out with kind of like different aspects of being a dancer. It talks about the different major schools of ballet and the fundamentals of technique and the basic positions. It goes through classes, what you would get at bar, center. I think this would be a really great book for a lot of adult beginners because it presents so many of just the fundamentals to you in a way that you can look at it, you can go back and refer to it. You know, right here you have the directions of the body, you know, your croisé and effacé and all of your positions like that. And it just the way it goes through the class so that you know the elements of bar, the elements of center. This stuff is just really, you know, it's got lots of your basic terminology as well as, you know, things like dealing with injury and the history of ballet. Like, it's just kind of like a crash course in ballet in a book. It's beautiful. I think the book itself is beautiful. I find it written in a way that is very approachable, even for younger dancers. I think it's very approachable. But really good book for adults, I feel like. Next one, or the next two, I'll kind of cover these together because these are both about Vaganova technique. We have the basic principles of classical ballet. Not easy reading necessarily, but really good information from beginning to end. I do believe this is the book that was referenced in our video about Alexandria. She mentioned a book that kind of like changed how she thought about ballet, and a lot of people asked about that, and I believe it was The Basic Principles of Classical Ballet by Vaganova. Then to accompany that, 100 Lessons in Classical Ballet, which is essentially the entire syllabus for Vaganova training. So this is a really useful tool if you want to teach and you want to teach a Vaganova class. Then you can reference this, and it's all here, it's all written down. I have a much stronger emphasis and base in Cecchetti than Vaganova. I considered myself kind of like anti-Vaganova for a long time because personally I don't have a body type that is typically trained by Vaganova teachers. I didn't have natural turnout, I didn't have super long legs, I didn't have a lot of the things that you usually think of when you think of Vaganova. So it didn't work with me the same way. I stayed away from it, but once I really got into the syllabus and what came from Vaganova and what was behind it, I've really grown to have such a huge appreciation because, I mean, of course, Vaganova dancers are beautifully trained. I love watching them. I just couldn't have ever been one of them. So, you know, I think we all like to go towards what is more natural to us. So my point is, even if you don't feel like you're Vaganova body type, it doesn't mean you can't benefit from reading these books and seeing what lies behind the Vaganova technique. Same way if you're a teacher, you know, even if you're teaching lots of different body types, there's still a lot of elements of Vaganova that, I mean, the syllabus is just absolutely brilliant. The progression is brilliant. I really love it and appreciate it. Next one on my list is Ballad Pedagogy. Now this is a book by Rory Foster. It was written, I believe, for like a pedagogy class at the collegiate level. You know, it also talks about all the different schools. It approaches this, you know, as a teacher, anatomy, constructing your classes, musicality, different elements of teaching, dancer health and injuries, covers a lot of that. And even if you are not going to teach dance I think this is just really an excellent book to understand, again, what's behind dancing, to look at it from a teacher's perspective, especially as adults. Cognitively, we can take in a lot more information, and that information can be very helpful to us, you know, whether or not you ever plan on teaching. Lots of amazing information in this book. This is Classical Ballet Technique. This is kind of your basic visual ballet dictionary. This has almost every step you could possibly imagine. It takes them step by step, breaks them down, and shows you illustrated pictures of how to execute these steps. So I really, really love it, because anytime I have a question about exactly how to approach a step, if it's something that it's just been a long time since I've done it or it's not as familiar to me, then I can look in here and see it broken down and therefore know how to teach it. Really, really incredible. Beautiful dancers, beautiful pictures in here. Very, very good if you want a visual dictionary. Here's another one meant for teaching beginning ballet technique. But again, you know, so much is gone through in here. You know, your bar work, your center work. There's a lot of information that even if you are just coming into dance, well, coming back to or coming into dance as an adult, you know, it would be more information than you would be able to understand if you are a very, very true beginner. But again, illustrated guide with a lot of information that even if some of it was a little too much, there's still a lot of basics I think you could get through it. And especially once you're a little bit farther into your dance journey, if you've been in it for a while, then you would be able to understand most of what's in here. Now they also have things about planning classes. And even if you don't plan on teaching, I think sometimes, you know, personally, I think everyone should have enough of an understanding of your classwork that you could develop a class, even if it was just for yourself, so that you can always give yourself class. So this really kind of goes over how to do a lot of that, and is just really, really, again, nice pictures, good information, really solid book. Dancers Among Us, this is just a fun book. This is one that definitely could be, you know, a gift for you as a dancer or for someone else. Just lots of pictures of dancers doing things in different places. I think most people are familiar with Dancers Among Us by now. This has been out for a while, and I think there's even like more where this came from. So really love that. And the type of thing that, man, you know, like you wish you could, yeah, this came out in 2012. It's been out a while. You wish you could like be part of one of these shoots. They just look like so much fun. Dance Anatomy, I believe this was recommended to me by someone on this channel, and I really, really, really love this. Again, you want to look at cross training and conditioning. This gives you things that you can do for every part of your body. It shows you which muscles you're working by doing what things. So it's just, again, so much information, so well illustrated and explained. I mean, if you did even just like half of the exercises in here, you would be way ahead of the game. And a lot of these are things that I either do myself or work into my classes or my stretch and strengthen. I really love that book. The Healthy Dancer, this is from American Ballet Theater as part of their national training curriculum. It's guidelines for dancer health. So this is the book you can buy without going and getting your national training curriculum certification. I am ABT certified in every level, pre-primary to level 7. Took 2 years and 2 trips to New York and lots of tests, written and oral, and essays and all kinds of stuff. Well worth it. Really love that. But this book just goes over more like the anatomy and kinesiology, dance-related injuries, turnout, point work, development and health, as a teacher and as a parent. So if you are a parent of a dancer, this is a very good book to get. In fact, this is something that in a dance studio, I wish we could make this required reading for parents. You know, it explains things like why you wouldn't want to put your child on point until 11 and things like that, despite that being something that's still widely arguable. It's got nutrition in here, principles of training, facility guidelines. If you have a child in dance or if you are a dancer, it's really just kind of stuff that you should know and be aware of. It does not cover much of anything about adults. So, you know, there are certain things we have to be careful of as adults. Coming into or returning to dance, we face a lot of different issues than children, but by seeing how they address a lot of issues with children, you're going to get a lot of information that would still apply to us as adults. And since a lot of us are parents, then that also applies. The Cecchetti method of classical ballet, as I say, I am heavily influenced by Cecchetti. That's probably the school that I most identify with as a teacher and a dancer, although I try to be as adaptable as possible, and I try to train students that are as adaptable as possible. But this is going to take you through the theory and the technique of Cecchetti. You know, it goes through everything from the theory, the positions, what they call all the different arabesques and things, exercises at the bar, exercises in the center, the way you go through this if you are Cecchetti. Very, very good. It's not quite like a full syllabus the same way the 100 lessons of classical ballet is, but it certainly takes you through all the different elements of a ballet class. Those are all not all my books, but those are all the ones that I decided to talk about today. That's a piece of my ballet library. What other books do you have that you just love or don't love? Do you have anything else to add to that list? Anything you have on a Christmas list or you've already received? Comment below. And I hope you like this video. I hope maybe you'll think about some of those. If you've seen them but have been on the fence about them, maybe that helps you decide whether or not you want to buy them. And that's all for today. Bye!